Welcome back, once again adventurers, to Let's Play BlazBlue Calamity Trigger. In the last episode, Tao had a rather interesting run-in with Noel Vermillion of the NOL, but in typical fashion she was victorious, despite, curling up to take a nap in the middle of the sector there, but now she's asleep somewhere. I believe it was Sector 5, and we just heard a voice. A rather familiar voice at that. Someone shook Taokaka. Alas, Taokaka is still comfortably sleeping. Of course, if being shaken was enough to wake Taokaka up, Noel would never have been able to drag her this far.
It seems like I don't have much choice. I didn't want to resort to this, kid, but I got some food here for you.
Maybe that'll do it. There was only one thing that could wake Taokaka up. Food. Guess I was right.
Food? Food? Where is it?
Well, apparently that worked.
Sorry to do this to you, but there's no food.
Yeah, pulled a bit of a fast one there, I'm afraid.
What the hell? That's one cruel lie, meow! I'm telling you, I've never been insulted this much in my entire life!
Well, unfortunately them's the breaks, Taokaka. You do, have a tendency to eat everything in sight.
Said I was sorry. What more do you want?
It was only then that Taokaka took a look at the thing that had woken her up. It was a creature wearing a hood like hers, with a big sword strapped to its back. As she came closer, she realized it looked like a cat standing on its hind legs. Yeah, we've encountered this individual before, although that was in a different story.
The cat person? It's the cat person! Cat person!
Ah, but it seems that Taokaka recognizes who this individual is. The creature Taokaka called the cat person was one of the 6 heroes, Jubei. He was usually out wandering the world, but from time to time he dropped by the Kaka village to check up on them. Of all the people held in high esteem by the Kaka clan, Jubei is the most respected. Although he rarely visited the village, he was one of its founding members, and a great leader of the Kaka clan. And yet, well, they may be similar. There is also something of a difference between the two as well.
Long time no see, cat person! Tao's so happy to see you! Meow! What do you want me to do?
That is actually a very good question coming from Taokaka.
Happy to see you too, but I got no time for playing.
No, we don't have time to deal with Jubei, I think, and even if we did, Jubei does have the reputation for being the strongest creature in the world, so there's that.
Huh? Let's play!
Well, real talk, technically that's what I'm doing with BlazBlue Calamity Trigger, but
Come on, kid. Being selfish ain't right.
yeah, Taokaka does seem to have that tendency in abundance. Jubei's scolding stopped Taokaka in her tracks. Her ears drooped and her tail went limp.
I'm sorry, meow. I shouldn't have acted that way.
Ah, hell. Don't get all bent out of shape. You're a good kid.
That is certainly true. Taokaka does indeed have a strong and decent heart. Jubei gave her a good scratch on the head and she purred. Oh, she is a cat after all.
How are things back in the village? Any news?
Well, it hasn't been easy, meow. Whenever this weird black squiggly thing appears, the people of Kaka disappear. Meow. It's a pain in the neck for everyone. Meow.
Black squiggly, you say? Well, I have a sneaking suspicion I know what that squiggly you're talking about is. In fact, we've encountered it before.
Why don't you come back to the village, cat person? Everybody is waiting for you. Meow.
Something tells me that Jubei has, other things on his mind.
So now I got some other stuff needs doing. Look, kid. You got the power to protect the village. You can't keep depending on an old man like me.
True, but, then again, I think she just wanted to invite you to the village for a picnic or something.
Tao protects the village now?
Yep. I reckon you're ready.
If you say so, cat person, I'll try my best. Meow.
Yeah, Taokaka is, pretty formidable when it comes to, defending and attacking.
Yeah, that's the spirit, kid. So, there's some sort of black squiggly critter giving the village trouble. Well, if I happen to run into it, I'll be sure to give it what for.
I'm, sure you would, there, Jubei.
But you ought to be heading back to the village, kid. They need your help. Heard rumors there's some dangerous people around these parts.
I wonder if the NOL is finally starting to move in on the Kaka village despite avoiding it for so long.
Tao's strong, so don't worry about me, cat person. But I'll return to the village now if you say so. Meow.
Yeah, we have been gone for quite a while, and pretty early on we essentially failed in the initial mission which we were given, which was to capture Ragnar the Blood Edge and get the bounty money from the NOL.
And I do say so. You say hello to the folks back home for me, all right? Next time you and I cross paths, maybe there'll be time for a little playing.
Promise? Meow? I'll see you around, cat person.
Seems like Tao is definitely looking forward to this.
Whoa, whoa! Careful there, kid.
Tao isn't that dumb, you know, cat person.
Taokaka was hungry, and as sad as she was to say goodbye to the cat person, she needed to get back to the village for food. Her eyes fell on the gap between the massive metal plates that covered her village. Ah, so we're above the grassy hill, it seems. Her ears perked up and she grinned. Taokaka just had an excellent idea. Danger, said the sign. Keep out, it added. Taokaka didn't care. She dashed towards the gap between the plates.
Tao's smart. Meow. If I jump off here, it'd take me directly to the village. Meow.
Maybe so, but I'm actually starting to have second thoughts about this.
You sure you want to jump off?
And even Jubei's giving some warnings there.
There's no problem at all, cat person. I'll talk to you later. Meow.
Well, there she goes. Taokaka leapt over the fence and struck a pose as she fell. She wanted to make sure she looked good when she landed. Hopefully you land on your feet like most cats are said to do.
I'll be arriving at the village soon. Meow.
Hopefully that is the case. She could see it below her. It was tiny. It looked like a toy village. Maybe we're a bit higher up than we thought. Things were going well so far, just as Taokaka had expected. Now she just had to land, which is always the difficult part, it seems.
Taokaka has returned to the village quickly.
As Taokaka slammed into the ground, it gave way beneath her. Slightly concerned, she watched the village disappear as she continued down to the very bottom of Kagutsuchi. Well, there's always a margin for error.
Quite a racket for such a small kid. Ah, well, don't rightly think there's much that can hurt her.
I'll be right about that, Jubei. But, it's time for a save. Well, that seemed to have backfired.
Ouch! I thought my butt was gonna split 4 ways. Meow. Huh? Where am I now?
Well, I can tell you where we're not. We're not in the village, and, as to where we are, I think we're actually in the depths of the sewers, which is quite a long way down. Something moved in the darkness behind Taokaka. She spun around to face it, her instincts telling her that something bad was about to happen.
Who's there?
I would assume, well, given its shape, it should be fairly obvious. The shadow shambling towards her stopped and took a few steps back. It was a weird, ugly creature, covered in rags. Taokaka didn't know it was called Arakune, but she did recognize it. I wouldn't say it's wearing rags.
The black squiggly thing? The bad guy who attacks the village? You must be a wanted criminal, meow. I'll capture you and claim the bounty. Everybody in the village will be happy.
Yes, indeed, the squiggly is in fact Arakune. But I wonder if the NOL actually does have a bounty on Arakune. I'm sure some of them must know of his existence, but I hate to break it to you, Tao, but the huge bounty is on the head of Ragnar the Blood Edge, not Arakune, I think. And Arakune is speaking in gibberish as usual.
It seems has read down previously. Do laugh, I eat you.
Not sure what he said there, but I think it might be somewhat important.
How? Meow! Don't be ridiculous! Meow!
But it looks like Arakune is intent on consuming Taokaka.
You're the enemy of Kaka. I'll eliminate you right here once and for all. Meow!
I wonder if we are actually up to that task. Well, as I'm sure you're all aware of in the Metal Gear Solid Hi, I'm Daisy comic dubs, here I go! Fight Arakune with Taokaka. Time's up, let's do this Leroy Jenkins style.
The wheel of
Let's
fate
just
is
hope a
playing.
bunch of dragon whelps don't come out of nowhere and attack us.
Action!
Ooh! Oh! I'm on a roll today, but I haven't done much damage, and stay away. Don't you... Agility is all fine, but if you can just hit the creature... Get over here. Ooh! Don't you curse. Oh, I said don't curse me. Well, I was about to anyway. If you summon your insects, I'm going to be mad. Ooh. Go on! Don't you turn invisible. Yeah, actually doing pretty well. Haha. Oh, and there are rats down here too. All the mices. Ooh. Get over here. And that actually turned out pretty well.
Meow! You know who's the man? Meow! You stupid black squiggly thing. Meow? You don't even have energy left to talk back, huh? Meow!
Well, we beat Arakune, well, so that's not really that surprising. Thou put up a good fight, good sir, but thou hast been beaten, it seems. Looks like he will probably try to get away to lick his wounds. Just as he was about to deliver the final blow, Taokaka stopped. Arakune shuddered, somehow pitiful. So it seems that Taokaka does possess an ounce of mercy.
Hey, Squiggly. Because Tao is such a sweet Kaka, I'll let you go for now. But if you don't want to get hurt again, you'd better stay away from Kaka. Meow.
Not sure he'll entirely take your advice given his nature, but seems like he will heed you this once. He didn't need to be told twice. Arakune ran, as far away from Taokaka as he could get. It looked like she was out of trouble, for now.
Ha ha ha! I'm sure that squiggly thing won't bother us again. Meow!
You might be somewhat right about that.
It's all thanks to Tao. Meow! Tao's great! Please, somebody praise me!
There's that selfishness that Jubei was pointing out earlier.
Wait, there's no one around. Meow! By the way, where am I? How am I supposed to go home? Meow!
Well, at least you've noticed that much, Taokaka. Just as Taokaka was about to start looking for an exit, a rope dropped down in front of her. Looks like Kaka Village to the rescue.
Hey, Tao! Can you hear me?
Indeed.
Oh, my little one! I can hear you just fine. Meow!
Saved by the Kaka kittens. Hooray.
Grab that rope! We'll pull you up!
When Taokaka hadn't come home, the people of the Kaka clan had gone looking for her. Taokaka grabbed the rope.
You can pull me now. Meow!
I think you're supposed to climb, Taokaka, not get pulled up.
All right, here we go. Ready? Pull! Pull!
Something tells me that this isn't going to quite work. Or maybe it will. And that was how Taokaka escaped from the deepest, darkest part of Kagutsuchi and was reunited with the Kaka children. The news that Taokaka had driven off the black squiggly drew cheers from the assembled members of the Kaka clan. They were happy. Taokaka was happy.
The village is finally at peace. I'm speechless. Meow!
That makes two of us, or more than two.
Uh-huh. We don't need to worry anymore.
Meow! Nothing to worry about. Meow! Let's all go home to the village.
When Taokaka and the children got back to the village, it was full of activity and excitement. Festival booths had been set up in the town square, and there was food everywhere. And there was a rather oddly dressed Kaka that seems to be quite elderly, given its demeanor, and looks like some sort of Kaka shaman. Although I'm actually going to go out on a limb here and say that this is in fact the elder of the village.
Meow! Elder, what's going on here?
Oh, Tao, Lychee brought us a bunch of food today. We're about to dig in now.
So Lychee is familiar with Kaka village. That's kind of interesting. Taokaka barely heard the elder. She was too busy stuffing meat buns into her mouth, as usual.
Ooh, Tao's starving. Meow. They all look so good.
And what's more, you didn't have to pay for a single meat bun.
Gee, you haven't changed a bit.
And there is Lychee failing, yet again. Taokaka had been too busy devouring meat buns to notice Lychee. Lychee was a doctor in Orient Town, but she had made friends with the Kaka clan and came to visit them frequently. She often held classes for the children in the village, and everyone loved her, Taokaka included.
Long time no see, Tao. How have you been?
Oh, booby lady, hang on a second while I handle this meat bun. Meow.
Taokaka had finished off the last several meat buns in her mouth and leapt on Lychee's breasts, poking them and prodding them to test her softness. Yeah.
They are as bouncy as always. Meow. I'm impressed, booby lady.
Knock it off, Tao. Kiddies, why don't you call everyone so we can have a meal together?
Yes, ma'am.
The feasting with Lychee lasted late into the night. Unbeknownst to anyone in the village, Jubei watched them from a short distance away.
Sure wouldn't mind seeing days like this a bit more often. Farewell, folks, until we meet again.
Looks like Jubei is parting ways with the village once again. And he was gone into the night. Sometime before the morning, the party died down as most of the villagers fell asleep. Taokaka was taking a nap at her favorite spot. That was when the little kittens came.
Tao. The elder gave us an assignment.
Yet again, eh?
Meow. I can't eat anymore.
The two Kaka children ran up the small hill surrounded by scrap metal and broken machines. It was a special spot for the Kaka clan. The sun still shone there, great alliteration, making it warm and comfortable, perfect for a nap. The hill was covered in plants, all desperate for a taste of precious sunlight. The smell of warm grass filled the air. Taokaka, a warrior of the Kaka clan, was taking her nap in the sunlight. Wait, why am I getting a sense of deja vu? And having said that, I think I know why.
She's asleep. Yeah, she's asleep.
Yes, she is.
What should we do now? What should we do?
When they tried to decide what to do, the sun set, and Taokaka kept right on sleeping.
It's a peaceful day.
Indeed it is, Tao. Indeed it is. The alternate truth is yet to be found. But we will find it in due time. But that was one of Taokaka's story endings, and a very quaint story ending, if I do say so myself. But that's it for this episode of Let's Play BlazBlue Calamity Trigger, and when we return, adventurers, we shall embark upon other story endings pertaining to Taokaka, mighty warrior and defender of the Kaka village. As always, adventurers, until next we meet.